consonants. And this is taken right from Rupertji's read and write Hindi script here. So you may have seen it there. Who can tell me how this consonant grid is organized? And tell me a little bit about how it's organized.
Is some of it organized by the anatomy of where your mouth, your tongue is? So like on the first, it's kind of starts at the front of the mouth and then it goes further and further back.
Yes, so on the left-hand column here, you can see my mouth. Can you see my pointer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, this is these are the words telling you where the sound is articulated in the mouth, and velar is all the way at the back, labial is on the lips, and then each row goes gradually more forward in terms of where the sound is articulated. And then what about the columns going down this way? How is this organized?
Going across from the left to the right, they get more airy.
Yes, so we have pairs of unairy and airy. So we call that the unaspirated and the aspirated. So what does it mean? What does it mean to be unaspirated versus aspirated?
Aspirated means you blow air out when you say the sound.
You blow the air out. So if you put your hand up here, you should feel the air coming out on the aspirated column. So we have two aspirated columns, and you should not feel any air coming out on the unaspirated. So I don't know if you all have tried that, but it's a good test to see if you're saying those sounds correctly. And of course, if you're speaking full quick sentences, this may be impossible, but if you just want to check your pronunciation when you're practicing slowly, it's very useful, especially at the beginning. Now we have these pairs of unaspirated and aspirated consonants. This section is unvoiced here, these two, and then we have a pair of voiced consonants. And does anyone know what exactly that means?
For voice, the vocal cords vibrate.
Yes. So this is not super important in terms of us trying to pronounce things correctly because we do this correctly automatically. And there is no, at least for native English speakers. Now this could be different for if you're not a native English or a native Indian language speaker. There could be some differences. I haven't run into any yet, but it could be that if you're a native East Asian speaker, the voicing might not turn out correctly. Possibly for maybe some German speakers as well. I think you voice different consonants at different times, but if you're a native English speaker or a native Indian language speaker, the voicing should come out automatically correctly for these. And it's very hard to tell, actually, with the syllabary because all ahs are voiced. So as you can see, all these consonants have a short ah attached to them. So if I put my hand on my vocal cords and try to tell whether I'm voicing the sound like this ga here versus ga, you can put your hand on your throat and see when it starts vibrating. Ga, ga. The only difference between those two sounds is that the ga is voiced earlier because the ahs are all voiced. The ga is not, the K sound itself is not voiced, but because the ah kicks in so quickly, it's very hard to tell the difference. But it almost sounds lower, doesn't it? The ga. So ga, ga, because the voicing starts a little bit earlier. but it's not something most of us need to think about at all, luckily. This will be automatic, so that's good. Now, a lot of you have issues getting the aspiration out correctly, and what we're gonna do today, I have those same issues. I'm not a native speaker. I've gotten to the point where I can do it well in isolation, I believe, but then when I start speaking, you know, a lot, and I'm thinking about other things, it tends to deteriorate a little bit. But all we can do is try and understand what we're doing and practice. If you're having trouble even getting the sounds out correctly in isolated words, this hopefully today will help you. And I think everyone does at the beginning. Absolutely. So now, just so we can appreciate this, if you've read Snell's book, I think you know that the Sanskrit grammarians were amazing, and look how they organized this just in such a logical way. It's really quite phenomenal. So this is the alphabetical order in the dictionary, and it's, you know, it's organized the same way that linguists currently map out languages. Like if you look on Wikipedia, look up a language on there and look at the phonology, you know, they have a very similar chart in which they'll map out the sounds of any given language. Of course, they use the IPA symbols, which are really hard to understand. So that's a different issue. But you can see that the chart they put those IPA symbols into is very similar to this. So it's really quite an achievement. Now we know that in the dictionary, they start with the vowels, but once they're done with the vowels, they get to the consonants. This is the alphabetical order. So what I want to do is go through by row and see if we can just say the sounds correctly. And one thing I find useful to know is that if you're a native English speaker, in the first row we have all these sounds in English, but the difference is that we don't know when we're aspirating and when we're not aspirating. It's not written. And we have certain configurations in which we aspirate these four consonants, and certain configurations in which we don't. For example, and Snell mentions some of this in his book, if there's an S before a K in English, like skip, we don't aspirate the K. So if you say the word skip and put your hand up in front of your mouth, there won't be any air coming out until the P. Skip. You might aspirate the P. Skip. So everyone try that. Skip. There's no aspiration on the K. That's completely subconscious for 99% of us. Now, an example of an aspirated K in English would be king. So an initial K in English followed by a vowel is aspirated, like king. Now, nobody knows these rules, except maybe if you learned English as a foreign language and somebody helped you with your accent, they might have told you these things. I didn't know these rules at all until very recently, when I just learned them to help students. But if we know these things, it will help us know when to beware that it's going to be difficult. So if we have, you know, let's say S followed by aspirated K in Hindi, which won't happen much, but just as an example, we have to be aware, okay, that's not something I would unconsciously, subconsciously aspirate. And it just helps to recognize these things. Now, as far as this line, therefore, when we have a plain initial K, it'll be much easier for us English native speakers to aspirate it, like king. So this should be easy for us to just say ka with aspiration and feel the air. But this one is going to be hard for us as a standalone sound, ka, with no air coming out. So if you try to say ka with no air, some of you may feel the air. So how many of you are feeling air when you say ka? try to say the unaspirated. Is anyone having air come out? Okay, Jackie says yes. Anyone else having air come out on the ka? Are you pretty good at it? So if you're having trouble just even getting the feel, one thing that can be helpful is to just let all the air out. And this is really for beginners who haven't done this before, but just try letting all the air out first. Just exhale it all out and then go ga, 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 ga. There's no more air to come out, like if you're really scared and all that, you don't even want to breathe. That's a good way to get the feel, ga, 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 ga. And or just freeze up that diaphragm, I think it all comes from the diaphragm first. So for those who are new to this, if you've done yoga and you're used to kind of feeling your diaphragm, breathing from your diaphragm, this also helps get the air out on the aspirates that are going to be difficult. Or if you've done Tai Chi, like in Tai Chi, we do this kind of in-out diaphragm work. I don't know if any of you have done that. Or you just like sticking your stomach in and out over and over and over. I think that's really helped me with the aspiration. And of course, the better you get, the less, muscles you have to recruit, just like in a sport. But when you're first getting used to it, it can help to sort of pull in that diaphragm or push out that diaphragm for these. So with all that being said, now the ga and the ka, for us English speakers, it's the aspirated ka that will be a challenge, because as an initial sound, we tend to not aspirate a G followed by a vowel. So ga is going to be easy for us, and then ka, we're going to have to kind of recruit that diaphragm a little bit. So looking at the first line then for us native English speakers, it's the unaspirated ka that is the challenge, and the aspirated ka, that's the challenge. And if you just know that, I think it may help you focus when you're speaking, that's where you have to give conscious attention. Now, if we have native speakers of other languages here other than English, do you have different challenges? For example, like Delia, are you a native German speaker?
Yes, I'm German.
Okay, I think you have, different patterns in German. I don't speak German, but I've observed over the years that voicing can be slightly different. And what about for aspiration? Do you have different challenges with these 4 letters than what I said?
No, I think it would be the same, yeah. So, but even the unaspirated ga, I think we don't speak it that much back in the throat like it's said here for Hindi. Yeah.
So you speak it at a different point in the throat.
Yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. So you have a different challenge
Good.
there.
Good.
And but as far as the aspiration, you feel like you would tend to aspirate an initial K followed by a vowel, and you would tend not to aspirate an initial G followed by a vowel?
Yes, exactly. I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
So the aspirated ka is hard, yeah.
Okay. The aspirated ka is the hard one for you.
Yes, the ka from kar, no?
Oh, okay. So it's the opposite of us English speakers. Because for us, it's the easy one is ka and the hard one is ga. So you're saying it's the opposite for you.
No, the unaspirated also, but I meant the from kar, like house.
Oh, okay.
Gar,
Gar,
is
that's the
how,
one.
yeah, gar,
Okay.
gar is
Kar,
hard. Yeah.
This is the hard one for you. Ga.
yeah.
Okay. And that's hard for English speakers as well. I think the voicing from German is slightly different, but I don't know about it. But I think it's a little different at times. Anyone else have different challenges than what we've mentioned here. I'm not sure what all your native languages are. Of course, if you're born in India, also it's quite a different story. Okay, well, let's just try reading through this, and as we read through this first line, put your hand up and make sure you're getting the aspiration right. So just going through it here. Ashuji, we have a native speaker here.
Yeah.
Ashuji, why don't you read the four for us, and then we can copy it.
Yeah. So the first one is, as you can tell, is ka as in kamra. So when I say kamra, the air is not coming. Kamra. Say after me, kamra. Okay.
Kamra.
Kamra, right? Same
Kamra.
thing, kamra, right? The next one is kha. Kha. So as in like, I mean the khargosh,
Khana.
khana, very khana is food, right? Ka, which is no non-aspirated, kamra, kha, khana, khana. If you were to say kana, it would not make sense, right? But if you say khana with the air, that's food, right? Next one is ga, ga, no air, as in gamla, pot, gamla, okay? And the next one is ga, ga, as in gur, okay? Gur, okay? As in gadi, gadi is watch, okay? This ga is almost, not almost, it's like gaya, like jana's past tense, gaya. You will not say gaya, right? I mean, that's it will give a different
That
sound.
sounds bad. That sounds really yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can go through and say so ga ka ga ha just like that. And who would like to be brave and do it for us? Put your hand up in front of your mouth as you do it.
Yeah. And anyone can volunteer, actually.
Yeah,
Anyone.
Sean, you're my friend, so you be brave.
So k, g, right? It's,
Okay, did you feel air coming out on your first letter? Because I heard it.
yeah, yeah, I did. K. So k, g,
That's
yeah.
better. So try the ga again. Ga, no air, ga.
K,
That's good. Okay, who else would like to be brave? Donna?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it, Ran.
Ga, ka, ga, ga.
Beautiful.
Okay,
How's
very good. Did you feel the air at the right time?
ka, ga, ga? I think,
Sounded
yeah, the ga one is like aspirated. Ga is very difficult for me.
Yes, me too, especially when I'm speaking a lot, but I do try to, feel it in the chest, feel the movement there. Anyone having particular trouble with any of them?
Yeah, this is an engaging session, so feel free to ask questions. And these are really the basic pronunciation. So ka, kha, ga, ga. If it is hard, if any sound is hard, it's better to find the relevant example. Yes, Jackie ji.
Hi, it's absolutely fascinating, and a bit of a surprise because I always thought that "ka" was one of the letters I could pronounce, and now I realise I can't.
I'm sorry. But it sounds like you can pronounce ka, the aspirated one.
Yeah, I thought in my head I could hear a difference. When I hear Ashuji say it, it's
mhm.
perfect and I can hear it, but I can't. I struggle to say that. So
Say
after
come.
you telling me, I'd say "ka," K, G, K.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That sounds good. That sounded very good.
Like, that's a hell of an effort. I'd find it hard to put a word on the end of those letters.
Yes, I sympathize. And I do want to say before we go on that this is just pronunciation. You can still communicate very well with an accent. I've had an accent in Hindi all my life, you know, because I learned in college. So I try to, you know, get close, and that's it. And I keep trying because it's fun, but but it's not a task that we finish.
Thanks, that's very encouraging.
Yes, and also, you know, even though as Sean brought up, there can be some embarrassing differences with like certain words. Even so, just like when you hear a non-native speaker in your own native tongue, you quickly adjust, right? And you don't, you wouldn't react the same way to them making an embarrassing mispronunciation as you would with a
Yeah.
native speaker. So if a native speaker comes out and says a word that's clearly a cuss word,
Mm,
it's a cuss word. If a foreign language speaker does it, it's not,
Yeah.
and you know it. So we don't have to get too upset about it. You know, we don't want to be horrifically bad at it. But you know, I find this fun. It's sort of like music for me.
mm,
I enjoy it, but we should try to get to you know, at least a base level of approximations, because if we're really aspirating at all the wrong times, that can interfere with communication. But if we just have a, you know, a little bit of an accent, it's not going to. So now, as we can see on here that there's a nasal at each point in the mouth as well. And as far as these first two nasals here, they basically only occur in Sanskrit loanwords. We don't see them much in beginning Hindi. And they are very often written with the dot above the line in conjuncts, so we don't even have to recognize them too often. And what I will say is that they tend to occur before a consonant in the same row here. Therefore, you will automatically pronounce this correctly. So an example would be Ganga, Ganga. Okay, so this N appears before this G and your tongue's already in the correct place. It's very hard to mispronounce it. So we don't have to worry about it. The same goes with this one here. So this one would be like, you know, what's a Hindi word with this one? An English word would be, oh, here, how about, can you think of a Hindi word, Ashutosh, with
I think this is the punch. Punch is the
punch?
one.
Okay,
Punch.
punch, right.
Yeah.
So you can
So,
hear the difference, like Ganga and punch. So
yeah.
your tongue automatically does it. We can forget about it for now. Now, going to this next row, the palatal row. So the point of articulation is a little bit farther forward towards the lips. I wrote in the CH here because it's hard for some people to remember this is cha instead of ka. We don't write it in the transliteration with an H because H represents aspiration. This is not aspirated. So which are the difficult ones for us English speakers here? It would be this first one, cha. We want to aspirate this. Like in English, chime, chime. You can feel the air, chime. This one's not so hard, cha. Now we have ja and cha. So again, we want to aspirate this cha a little bit. James or Jenny, well, they a little bit aspirated. So this one's a hard one as an initial sound. Now it's a whole different story when it's in the middle of a word. Like like mujhe. I have trouble aspirating that one, mujhe. We don't want to aspirate that as English speakers, mujhe. So we learn these patterns and it's helpful, but let's try to go through. So let me just say cha, cha, ja, ja, like that. Ashuji, could you also just say the 4 letters for us since you're the good one?
Yeah, sure. So ch as in char, like 4, ch, ch, as in chal, as in cheat, yeah, and j, and aspirated as in jahaj, ship, Jha, yeah, as in janda, flag.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who would like to try just those 4 for us? Delia, want to try?
Sanidhi, you want to try it out? The second row. These 4.
Yeah, these 4.
You have to unmute, Sanidhi.
Okay. Cha, cha, ya, ya, ya.
Okay, good. And Delia, I was gonna ask you.
Cha,
Anali,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. From the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Cha, cha, ja, cha,
Mm-hmm. And let's hear the cha again one more time. Cha.
cha,
Uh-huh. Did you feel air coming on that? Cha.
cha. Yeah, a bit.
A bit. Try a
Cha,
little. That's better. Cha.
cha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Anyone else want to try that? JD, do you want to try? Are you available? Or anyone else?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Ch, ch, j, j,
Okay, try with your hand up, see what you feel.
ch, ch, j, j.
Did it feel right?
The first one, I could feel a little bit of air.
Mm-hmm. The first one's hard. Cha, cha.
Yeah, ch, ch, ch.
Mm-hmm. You might try blowing it all out first to get the feel like blow it all. Cha, cha, cha.
Ch, and ch.
Sounded like a sneeze. Cha. Did you feel the air? Cha.
Which one? The first one?
The first one. Cha, cha.
Ch, ch, ch.
Okay, good.
Ch.
All right, so let's look at retroflex now. So obviously the next 2 lines we do not have in English exactly the same. So these are T's and D's as well as some nasals, right? Where is the English T and D on this chart in terms of these places of articulation? Where would you put in the English T's and D's?
Is in the dental?
It is not in the dental because we don't have this dental.
Between the dental and the retroflex.
Exactly, between, yes. So, I mean, depending, now if you're from if you're from an English diaspora or if you're not from America or UK and you're a native English speaker, then your T's and D's could be one of these lines. Like if you're born in India and you're speaking English, your T's are and D's are probably in the retroflex line. But as far as America, US, and UK, our T's and D's are between. So what does that mean? So the dental T's and D's, we have to put our tongue firmly against the area where the teeth and the palate meet up. So the very top of the teeth where you can start to feel the what do you call that thing? The palate, the flesh. That's where we,
The alveolar ridge, is it?
I think the ridge is just a little bit further back.
Further back, okay.
Yeah, but this is right where where the teeth end and the skin in there begins. And we want the tongue to firmly touch that area for these T's and D's here. And I think it's very similar to Spanish. Now for the retroflex, we want to really curl back the tongue as for me, it's as far as I can curl it back. It depends on your tongue. But yeah, curl back, and you want the tip of your tongue to touch the roof of your mouth. So for the US and UK English, when I say something like today, I'm having a very gentle tap. It's not a firm tap in American English for today, and the tap somewhere between these two areas. I think in UK English, the tap is a little bit firmer on some of the T's, but the area is the same, I believe. The area that you're tapping is still somewhere between the teeth and the retroflex area. It's just a little firmer at times. Okay, so this is a little bit of a challenge here, and then on top of that, we have to control our aspiration as well. So let's try. So this would be like da, ha, da, ha, and then no. So again, a very firm touch to the roof of the mouth on this no. Would you like to just read this line first?
Yeah,
For
I can totally do that. Yeah. So the first one is t, t as in tomato, which is tomato. T. Second one is th, th. Okay, as in like th, th. I mean,
Hyundai cold.
thund. That's right, thund. Right, thund. And then t, th, and then d as in dabba or a box. Yeah, and then dha. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So t, th, d, and then dha. As in
okay.
like, yeah, dhulak also is the dha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't have any real predispositions with these about when to aspirate, when not to aspirate. So in a way, it's easier for us. We don't have any unconscious habits with
Right.
regard
This one, let's have like Rita ji, you want to try it out?
Sure. All my consonants sound aspirated. Okay. Ka, 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 ka,
Yes.
ka.
They were all
Get the air
aspirated.
out at first. I know.
Okay, so try
Ka,
letting it all out. I'll give it a big sigh.
ka,
Stop,
ka, ka,
stop, stop.
ka,
Yeah, and you can also tighten up your body, pretend you're scared to death. Pretend you're doing public speaking and
ka,
say, da. That sounds better.
ka,
Da.
ka,
Uh-huh, good. And then try the da same way.
da.
That's good. That sounds good.
And then one more time. So we have Radhika ji also. So Radhika ji, you want to try it out on the Zoom? Radhika ji from UK?
Yeah.
Right. So why don't all right. So Radhika ji, she looks like she's not on Zoom, but no, she is here actually in San Francisco.
Hello, everyone.
She's
Hello, Rita ji and JD ji.
Hi. Hello.
so she's visiting us from UK. So we thought we'll surprise everyone. So here you go. Try it out.
I'm just enjoying the hospitality of Hashuji's house. Yeah, staying today. Enjoy the ice cream and everything.
Ice cream.
Yes.
I think I'm going to be visiting.
You guys don't scream. Yeah.
So, all right, we'll continue, Maggie ji. We just thought it will be good for her.
Okay, so
Bye, guys.
anyone else? Jack, you want to try?
Yep, just let me breathe out.
Cool.
Da, ta, da, da, na.
Mm-hmm. I think that sounded good.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. So Sheila G, what was it? What was the problem you said you tend to have?
My problem is hearing it when people are saying it so that I can distinguish between the two. I'm
Okay,
happy to have a go, absolutely.
okay, all right.
And I'm happy to try and put my tongue back.
Okay.
Ta, ta, da, da, na.
Okay, say one more time.
Da, ta, da, da, na.
Yeah, I think your first "ga" for some reason sounded more dental to me. See if you can curl it back a
Da,
bit.
da, da,
Da,
da,
da,
da, da, da,
that was good. Okay, good.
da, da, da.
Okay, yes, I think that sounds good. Now let's try the dentals. So we're going to put the tongue firmly on the back of the teeth. And for some English speakers, you know, our tongue tends to come through the teeth at times. I don't know if they do this as much in UK. I was not sure, but in the US, the tongue comes through the teeth a lot. And sometimes my tongue will just slip out when I'm saying these letters, so I have to be careful. So it's like da, ta, da, da, na. So for the N, also, it's also against the teeth. So I think we English speakers don't realize that sometimes. I think it took me years to realize that this N is quite different from even our N in English. It's the tongue is not on the teeth, normally speaking. So put it right on there, not for that one. And sometimes my tongue just slips through. Okay, Ashuji, would you like to say these for us?
Yeah. So the first one is ta, ta, and my tongue is really behind the teeth, as in talwar, a sword. Tha, tha, as in like katha, katha, story, katha. Da,
Da, da.
da, as in dawa, medicine or dawai. Dha,
Da.
dha, as in dhanush, like bow, dhanush. Ta, tha, da, dha, na, na, as in namak, salt, na. Nahi, nahi also has like that, right? Na, nahi. Yes.
Okay. Who would like to try these?
Can I try these? Because these, I fight with these all the time.
Okay.
Okay, so, ha, ha, da, ha, and I always say that. I say the ha, and everybody goes, no, 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 there's no ha there.
Okay.
And then no.
Okay. Now the thaw, I heard aspiration on that. So can you just try to tighten up your belly, let all that air out, and say thaw?
Ta, 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 ta. By the way, when people speak, I don't know if anyone has heard this in Hindi movies, but there's this big attention to the ta. They always, they end their words. If there's a ta at the end, they end their words really hard, like ta. Like I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but they do
With
that.
the aspirated ta.
Ta, 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 ta.
Yeah, interesting.
Someone who has not tried before would like to try?
I just want to offer one little tip for you on the ha, where you're saying the ha, right?
Yeah.
Try pushing in your stomach. Try punching yourself in the stomach at the beginning of this letter.
At the
Ha.
beginning?
Yeah,
Duh.
so that you can
Duh.
combine it. Duh.
Ah.
Try
Duh.
it.
Okay.
Is that better? Like, give yourself a huge
Yeah.
punch. Duh.
Duh. Duh.
Duh. Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
So you're getting the air out, but your timing is wrong. So you just have to
Right.
get, and if you have to physically push it out, that's okay. Eventually you'll get it. So you can walk around punching yourself when you're speaking, but you'll get the feel. So duh. I can literally push it out of
Uh,
my belly.
uh,
Yeah, okay. I think that's good. And Ashiji, who was
Yeah, I was
trying?
just gonna say, like, someone who's not tried anything before, it's a
Mm-hmm.
good opportunity.
Does JD want to try?
Yeah, Tom G, you wanna try? Tom, yeah, go for it.
Yes, please, Ashuji.
Yeah.
Da, ta, da, ta. And then na,
Mm-hmm.
Try this one again. The,
ta, ta,
less pressure. The, as in,
ta,
say this word after me. Dhanush.
danush,
Dhanush.
tanush.
So in each time, its pressure is getting slightly lower, which is Dhanush. Okay, dha. Very good. Sheila ji?
No offense, Tom, but when I hear you say D, I hear you say T.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, then I'll try to make it more danush, danush.
There you go. Dhanush. There you go. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you for the help.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, Jackie.
When I first heard somebody saying Panyavad, I thought they were laughing every time they said it before I knew what the word meant.
That's such a great story.
So that when I see that letter, I try and laugh when I'm saying it so that it's so it's that air coming out.
Interesting.
No, I
Yeah.
think so. Dhanyavad is correct. It's this the only. I think it's becoming. It's like my kids also when they like young, right? When like very little, when they talk to relatives and they say Dhanyavad and they laugh because they find it weird. Like, why would you say Dhanyavad? Because thank you is more or less sort of like included in the language in Hindi. So either don't say anything or say thank you. Why are you saying Dhanyavad? Because Dhanyavad sound old and weird. That's why they're laughing, not necessarily.
Well, that's a different reason to laugh, but yes, because
Not
we don't
necessarily the
use it
pronunciation
right.
laugh. It's a laugh
But I
or
do think to us English speakers it sounds like a laugh
Mhm.
because we
Yeah.
don't aspirate that initial da.
Yeah.
We want to say Dhanyavad. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like you're laughing. Dhanyavad. Right?
So any
So
word I see beginning with that, I pretend I'm laughing to say it, like Panush.
that's a good tip, and maybe it might help for those having trouble getting that aspiration out. Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at the last line labial. This line we do have in English. So it's just a matter of controlling the aspiration for us. So for like paper, we want to aspirate that initial pa. So this is the hard one. That's to control it. So pa. And then paper, this is natural for us. Pa, I think. Ba. This one's more natural for us. Like baby. We don't aspirate that. Baby. And then this is the hard one. Pa. So again, if you think of laughing, doing a little chuckle or getting punched in the stomach, this will help. This ma is exactly like our English M. So no problem there. Okay, so Ashiji, could you demonstrate this one for us?
yeah, I can. So the first one is pa, pa as in patang, kite, pa. Pa also can be used for, pari, like a fairy. Okay. Papa. Papa is also pa. Okay. Fa as in fal, fruit, basically. Fal or fool also, basically flowers. Okay. Ba as in, boat, that is used in English. Boat or bakri, goat. Okay. Baba also, ba. Bha as in Hindi speakers, like when they say bear, like bhalu, that's bha, bhalu, bhalu, bhala, okay, that's all bha. Like when we say kabhi, Kabhi kabhi, that's bh, that's the aspirated sound, not the kabhi kabhi. Kab is when, kabhi is, kabhi kabhi is sometimes. So you can see the difference between both. Yeah, that's right, bharna, the verb. And then ma, as in, mera, right? So that's ma sound. Okay, who else would like to try this out?
I see you practicing, but I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Hui? How do I pronounce it? Hui Tra? Yes, yes. How do you pronounce it?
My name? You
Yeah.
can just say like Chang, like
Fine.
Chang,
Fine.
Chang.
Okay. Fine. Okay. I'm sure you have completely different issues with aspiration than what the Americans have. But depending where were you brought up?
Um, like, yeah, I'm Vietnamese, so
Oh,
my native mother tongue is Vietnamese.
oh,
I have the biggest problem for me is the retroflex.
okay.
We do not have that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
similar, yeah. So for this
Yeah.
one, I think kind of okay for me. Can you check
Okay.
it for me? So
Right.
I've got ba, pa, ba, ba, ma.
Yeah, it sounded good. And it sounded a little separated. Try it one more time. The aspiration came a little late.
Pa.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
You want
Anyone?
to try? One more? Yeah, Radhika, you will try.
Pa as a papa, fur, fal, fool, faluda, ba, then baba, what can we say, bear, bha as a bharna, bhalu, what can
This one is?
ma,
Yeah.
mama, mama,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, how about Sheila ji? Want to try?
Sorry, that was me you were asking.
Yes.
So pa, ba, ba, ma.
Okay, I didn't hear, try again. I didn't hear much aspiration on the aspirates.
Okay. So pa, ba, ba. Ma.
Okay, are you try putting your hand up. Try getting your shoulders or your stomach into it if you have to. Sometimes you have to think of sighing as you do it, like, oh, just to get the feel. Try it.
Pa,
Mm-hmm.
ba, ma.
Mm-hmm. A little more on the pa.
Pa,
Yeah.
pa,
Sometimes
pa,
think about
pa,
running up those steps and going.
I'm doing the belly pull.
Yeah, punching yourself really works, but people
Yeah,
might look
does
at you
help.
strangely.
Good. Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
yeah.
so instead of laughing, think of punching, or running, like that. It's all good. Okay,
Thank you.
anyone else with challenges? Donna, want to try?
Okay. Pa, ba, ma.
That was good. I heard a lot of air coming out. Okay, anyone else want to try?
I'll try.
Okay.
Namaste, Maggie. I'm Mostrom. I'm under my wife's name today.
Okay.
I have a question though about the pa.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fa and sometimes pa.
Yes. So basically, there should be a dot when it's fa, but these days people are not putting the dot all the time, but it's a different letter when it's fa. So you may not know, you may have to check the dictionary.
Okay. So pa, 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 ba, ba, and ma.
Okay, I heard like 6 different letters.
Oh,
Try again.
okay.
There was too many letters.
Okay. Pa, pa, ba, ba, ma, ma.
Oh, good. I'd
Like a
like to
mata.
hear a little more aspiration on the aspirates. Can
Okay.
you try pushing it
Pa,
out more?
pa, pa, and aspirated ba.
Mhm.
Like bye,
Yeah.
bye, bye.
Like a cat hissing. Ha, ha, ha.
Pa, pa,
Good.
ba, ba,
Yeah,
ba,
think of a cat. Ha, ha.
huh, ba,
That's
ba.
good. Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
good. Okay, wow. All right, good. Okay. So, Ashuji, we are at 12 o'clock. We're past 12 o'clock. So we have, you normally go 1 hour, right? So we have some reading. Maybe we can do it in another meeting.
That's right. That's right. So what we'll do, show the next one. I already shared the second, the next thing is more of like, the reading 2 letter words. And there's a separate sheet for that. So we'll schedule a separate session. But in the meantime, I definitely want all of you and encourage all of you to go over this lecture again if you couldn't watch it today, and practice all the consonants. I think it's a great workshop. This is a great way for you to practice and even make mistakes and kind of get better with that, right? So we'll schedule a separate session based on availability of Maggie G, and then that way we can just go over the small sort of like words we can make and read. Okay, so I'll stop the broadcast. So for folks who watched live on Facebook, thank you so much. If you have any challenges, please do share.